We're making history all over the place. Next, I'll ask the lovely Miss Angela Cross to come back up for another musical selection. Miss Angela Cross.
There is a place and time when you decide that the dream in your heart will not be denied. So you take a step of faith to carve out the sacred space it needs to breathe. Then you find that the light that is inside of you is shining through, giving warmth to all the others who now see that their dreams need to breathe. So they take a step of faith. They carve out that sacred space, and with blood, sweat, and tears, they conquer their fears, and they find that the light that is inside of them is shining through, shedding light so that others can see their dreams need space to breathe. So they take a step of faith. They carve out that sacred space, and the light that is inside of them shines through. They shine. They shine. They
Thank you, Ms. Angela. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the person behind all this. Mr. Scott Carruthers, please come up to the podium as he will introduce our keynote speaker.
You know, as I read Mr. Saunders' bio, I can't help actually but to reflect on a speech that Reverend Sharpton made. And it talked about the Rosa Resolution. He talked about it at Rosa Parks' funeral and how important it is to make a commitment of joining a club or an organization that stands for justice and makes a difference in the lives of others. And it's very obvious to me that Mr. Saunders does just that. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please join me in welcoming one of the highest ranking African Americans in the labor movement, a man who was dedicated to the members of that union and working families across the country, Mr. Lee Saunders.
Thank Scott for that kind introduction. He read it just like I wrote it. Just like I wrote it. How's everybody this afternoon? Are you ready to hear the great Reverend Al Sharpton speak? As always, my staff prepares remarks, which I never follow. And I'm not going to follow them today. But let me just give you a brief history of why we are here, why all of us are here. Because what we're trying to do, Al and I are going to be traveling across this country, and Albuquerque is the first place where we're moving this program through. And we're going to rekindle that spirit of labor rights and civil rights and working families being treated fairly. I mean, working families are under attack like never before, here in New Mexico and across the country. Wages, benefits, pensions. We're being blamed for all the ills of society. And I've got to say this, we have got to develop and strengthen our coalitions between labor, civil rights, faith-based communities, students, and we've got to fight back like never before. We do not let this happen. You know what I see happening right now is we're the richest and the greatest country on the face of the earth. Yet there seems to be a rush to the bottom, where folks don't want to pay living wages, where folks don't want to have secure retirements. They want to take that away from us. Well, I'm telling you, 1.6 million members have asked me. We're saying hell no. We aren't going to let that happen. And we are enlisting your support. And that's the message that Al and I are going to be given all across this country. You know, when Dr. King went into Memphis, he went there not only for civil rights, but for labor rights. He went there to support 1,300 striking sanitation workers who wanted to be treated fairly, with dignity, and with respect. Those 1,300 sanitation workers were AFSCME members. They belonged to my union. And they fought. And they watched Dr. King die. But he was there for a purpose, and we can never forget that purpose. He was there because he believed that working families all over this country, not only in Memphis, deserved a fair shake. That working families deserve to be paid a living wage. They deserve to have adequate pensions. And that's what we've got to. We've got to continue to stand up for that. This is African American History Month. Matter of fact, Al and I were in D.C. a couple days ago, and he spoke to all the staff of AFSCME. And we talked about the connection between labor rights and civil rights. We talked about the struggle, the fights that took place. We talked about the shoulders of great people that we're standing on right now, that you're standing on, that I'm standing on. You know, my dad was a bus driver. Originally from Cleveland, Ohio. Drove the bus. Made a good union wage. Was able to put my brother and me through school. My mom was a community activist. They believed in solidarity. They believed in community working together. And we've got to bring that back. And never forget, no one in this room should ever forget that you are standing on the shoulders of someone. And you can't forget that. You can't forget that. And you have a responsibility, a civic responsibility, to do what's right, to do what's right, to fight that good fight, to stand up for what you believe in. And that's what my buddy and friend has been doing all of his life, Al Sharpton. He's been standing up, making it real, as he says, on his radio show. Standing up for working families all over this country. He's been standing up since he was a teenager in Brooklyn, New York. He's been standing up when he established the National Action Network in 1991. Standing up, making that good fight. He stood up, and he gave a strong message when he ran for president of the United States, standing for working families all over this country. That's who Al Sharpton is. He's not only a friend, but I believe he is the premier civil rights leader in this country today. But not only a civil rights leader, Al Sharpton is a leader, speaking truth to power. Truth to power. And we're working together very, very closely. And I respect and honor his friendship and what he is doing in attempting to move this country forward, not take it back, not take it backwards, but to continue to move this country forward. That's who he is. That's what he stands for. That's why AFSCME and the labor movement is working very, very closely with him to continue to move this country forward. So without further ado, sisters and brothers, I bring you the preacher. The preacher. He's going to preach to you this afternoon. All right? The man of truth. The man of truth. The man who believes that we've got to stand up like never before and fight those on Wall Street who are trying to take this country away from us. Stand up for the students. Stand up for working families. Stand up for what's right around this country. I bring you Al Sharpton.